707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101, or visit fountaingrovinn.com. PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN, Fred Dreyer Edition. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, here's Fred Dreyer.
Ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, we're flying at 73,089. 73,089. It's the highest we've ever been, and there's a reason for it. We're getting much perspective on this situation, and this situation is this. With all of the talk of last week's debate, and with all of the talk of tomorrow's impending vice presidential debate between Happy Teeth, Biden, and our man
Happy Teeth?
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan, yes.
Yes. What's happened is here today is this Libyan foreign policy thing is exploding.
Wow.
It's not going to be nice. It's going to come out that Barack Obama specifically, Hillary Clinton, and all the putative lineup of reprobates that are in this cabal of criminality in this White House are going to be guilty, clearly guilty, of covering up the murder of 4 Americans in Libya.
Can you believe it?
And the press is culpable.
Yes.
And I want to talk to you folks about something here that that I've always believed to be true. I've got a friend of mine who lives in Nevada. He always calls me, and every once in a while, when he calls me, he always launches. He kind of like saves up all this venom, and he calls me and tells me that the world is coming to an end, and so I listen, and I'm always in a listening mode. I'm always gathering information. I'd rather listen and observe than speak any day, which is one of the tough things about doing this show. You know, I wind up now having to yap, and sometimes I don't like having to do that. I want to listen. You know, I want to listen to and observe truth and fact, and then get all this information that way. But we live in great times, and I keep telling my friend Tony, I say, Tony, it's all coming to a head. Everything. What we're seeing in this culture today is the flowering of 50 years of 60s tantrum throwing. The unfolding of a generation of sour, selfish narcissists that have abandoned the streets of America for our great learning institutions, the ACLU, Columbia School of Journalism, and the infrastructure of America. When I say journalism, I mean print and media, certainly. Finally, after 50 years, they've got their candidate. And irony be all, their candidate, Barry, is black to boot. Now, the great irony of all of this is that, you know, what better way to attack Whitey? You know, I've said this to you before, folks, that this is a racist president. It's based on racism, separating people, pitting people against one another. It's using government. It's using the propaganda wheel of the mainstream media to manipulate and engineer specific outcomes, and race is specifically a weapon that they use. The politic of skin color. Not everybody who's black, brown, white, or green, or yellow, or blue, pick a color, is racist minded. But it's the politic of skin color, and there are everybody that makes up that politic. And so what you have now is you have the delivery system of a black candidate who's charismatic and charming, and as he is a criminal and a street thug from Chicago, being hidden, unvetted, being promoted, and working his way into the White House with the perfect storm of a GOP that is lame-brained, idiotic, and not knowing how to fight and understanding the culture that they live in, which is a mediocrity, understanding how to fight that, understanding how to go to the people and talk about right of center politics, which is what? A constitutional republic. So what irony is there for the left after 50 years to finally get their guy past our goalie and get into the White House. And what is he doing? He's not trying to make a better America. He's trying to destroy America with the help and assistance of the mainstream media. And so I tell my friend Tony, I say, Tony, what you're seeing is the unfolding. You're lucky to be alive because you're seeing it. You're finally seeing it after all these years, after being 20 and 30 years of age, and being a part of this demographic of a youth movement in this country where it's all about us. That's what this is all about. It was all about the baby boomers. It was all about the baby boomers smoking dope and loving the one that you're with instead of the one you want, and whatever's on the back of a Mahogany Rush album. That's what they promote, and that's what they preach, and that's what they live. Put a flower in your hair and come to Frisco and take acid and LSD and promote yourself, promote narcissism. Promote everything that has to do with you and nothing that would contribute to the greater good of America. Get rid of the founding fathers. All of this whole rhetoric of America hating is now incarnate in a black president who is here, who has not been vetted, who came along at a time when the Republican Party, the GOP, forgot its principles of what made Reagan great and what made this country great. The cowardice that is on the right, politically on the left of center with the GOP. They need to go back across the center line. I keep saying it. I keep repeating myself. But this is the culture that we're living in. We got to go back to a constitutional republic. Forget republicanism. They're failed. They failed the American people. What we have now is the collapse brought on by the mainstream media of this culture, of its infrastructure, of the spirit, of the moral code that this country had, past tense, it had, and now you're seeing it all fall out, all completely disintegrate before you. And the press is scrambling now, trying to find some way to put it together to point their finger at George Bush and the GOP, Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan, and everybody else has got an R by their name. And so what you're doing is you're starting to dissemble, thinking that this represents the collapse of America. No, it's the collapse of the left. It's the collapse of the left brought to you by the mainstream media. You know, I keep saying it. It's the great grinding wheel, the great grinding wheel of American mainstream media. They're culpable. They are the enemy of the people. Liberals can lie, manipulate, and engineer their message, their beliefs. Openly, they can lie to you, just like they're lying about Libya, because they know the American press machine, the great grinding wheel of propaganda, will protect them. Herein lies the arrogance of the left. This is why Barry and the clubhouse of hate can put a boot up the American people's asses. And that's what he's done. That's what he's doing right now. He's insulting you. He's pounding away at you. And believe me when I tell you this, folks, it's all coming apart. If the GOP and Mitt Romney open these guys up like a can of corn. Don't go away. There's more. We'll come right back.
It's the PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio with the one and only Mr. Fred Dryer. You can email Fred incoming at crni.net. Don't forget to check out his Facebook page, Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dryer.